These 8 sample trigger pads in 2 banks offer access to 16 sounds, music phrases, or sound effects. This opens up some interesting creative options. Imagine sampling a vocal phrase from disk, a rhythm phrase from an external SCSI drive, or maybe a sound effect from a CD, and flying it into your live or recorded performance in real time. The sounds can be mono, or you can link 2 pads together for stereo. The outputs are then routed either directly to the stereo bus or to a mixer channel where you can EQ and affect them as you wish. You can even record the performance of the pads as part of your song. We'll cover the basics, but for more in-depth information, refer to the operation guide under Sampling Pads. Here are a couple of things to keep in mind while using the sampling pads. First, you've got about 90 seconds of sampling time with 16-bit 44.1 kHz mono audio. The higher the resolution, the lower the amount of time available. Second, the sound you assign to the pads must be in the same sample rate as the song. Also, you can assign a desired region from tracks 1 through 16 of the recorder, import an audio CD track, or import a WAV file from a SCSI device to get some to display time in measures and beats. The AW4416 will even output a metronome for you while recording. For video applications, it's easy to convert MTC to SMPTE. And by sending song position pointer, your MIDI sequences and digital audio tracks will stay perfectly lined up, regardless of where you start playback. It also receives MIDI machine control, so when you start, stop, rewind your sequences, everything stays in sync. You can even recall scenes in the AW4416 via MIDI program change messages as part of your sequences. One way to set things up is to connect your AW4416 MIDI out to MIDI in on your sequencer, and set your sequencer to slave to MIDI clock. Then set up the AW4416 by pressing MIDI, F1, then move the cursor to MIDI out, select Out, and press Enter. Now press F2 and move the cursor to MIDI clock and press Enter. Press Song, F2, then move the cursor to Measure and press Enter. If you need to, you can also set meter changes and tempo maps to match your sequence under the Tempo Map tab here. As you can see in these screens, there are many more options, but this will at least get you started. Other possibilities are to think of your MIDI rig as even more virtual tracks with real-time mixing and processing on the AW4416. Then, add vocals, acoustic instruments, or other digital audio on the AW4416 recorder, all in perfect sync with your MIDI tracks. Or record your MIDI tracks into the AW4416 and free up your tone generators for more passes and even more music-making power. Thank you for watching this video. We've covered only the basics of this powerful music-making tool and have tried to spark some ideas for you along the way. We encourage you to experiment on your own. Remember, the manuals are pretty painless, and they provide a wealth of detailed information about every function. So don't be afraid to take a look through them once in a while. Also, be sure to check out the AW4416 website at www.aw4416.com. Good luck and have fun with your new Yamaha AW4416 professional audio workstation.